What's going on, everyone? Chuck here, and I hope that you are having a fantastic day today. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button down below because it really does make a huge difference to my self-confidence. Also, hit the like button if you end up liking this video. Hit the little notification bell if you really like my content. And yeah, today's video, we just got some stuff to do on the deck because I tried to do a good job during Mother's Day. So if you all recall, last fall time, we ended up building this deck on the concrete slab. We have since bought some furniture, an umbrella, a couple other things. I even put the grill on the deck with a little grill pad so it doesn't cook the grill. But we're trying to make it a little bit nicer, I don't know, homely. Putting some plants and some potted plants on the deck just to give it some color and some life. Some things are going great, other things not going so well. I was given two big lavender bushes that someone had dug up out of their garden because they didn't want them anymore. So they said, "Who wants them?" And I raised my hand. But I think they're not gonna make it. Both look kind of cruddy. But for Mother's Day, my wife always has been asking for a couple things to put on the deck. So I went ahead and bought some LED lights to put around the railing of the deck. And then also, she likes these English style hanging basket or like window baskets. I think that's what they're called. So I bought a couple of those and some plants and stuff. And I bought some other plants here to put in a little stool. So I ended up get all these things in some soil, hang the LED lights, which are also solar powered, hang the hanging baskets. And yeah, so that's kind of what this video is. I may do a lawn update, maybe, I don't know, but go ahead and get some work done. So I ended up buying two of these Portfolio solar LED lights. They are string lights. Oh, they're actually working because I must hit the button. Oh, because I put the solar panel down. Here's a solar panel, my hand for reference. So they are the solar panel is a bit bigger than I anticipated, but it does come with a stake, so you could put it in the ground if you want, and then I guess wire it upwards, or you could just screw it into a wall or something like that. It does come with the screws and the drywall anchors if you're gonna drill it into the drywall. To be honest, I don't know where I thought I was gonna put on top of the deck, that top railing, but maybe I'll do it on the side here instead of up top here where you can't see on the side. This. I don't know, I'll decide, but I've had these going for about 6 hours now. It says you can set them out for 6 to 8 hours at first time, or it actually does have a USB, micro USB port where you can charge it in the wall. Not sponsored by these people or anything like that. I bought these on my own. My wife has been wanting these. I wear my sunglasses. I wear my sunglasses at night. I wear my sunglasses at night. These are the baskets I got. They're actually called, I wasn't far off, English Horse Trough. These are from Vertigo or Virgo, whatever. And this like coconut, whatever it's called, liner. This is just the one that comes with it. They sell thicker ones of these that like hold a little bit more moisture and don't leak all over the place, but I just figured, yeah, go with the ones that it came with. But it has 4 mounts on the back. So for this first planter, I got 2 of these Super Bells. We got one in the purple and yellow, and one in like the orange Super Bell. This is the Tangerine Punch, and this is the Evening Star. They kind of creep and mound. And then sort of as a filler and a vine, I got these potato vines. 2 of these potato vines, so I'm probably filling it up way more than it's supposed to. I think these are like needs every like 12 inches or something. They're both annuals. These need 24 to 36 inches. And then in this hanging basket, I got these asparagus ferns. Just a sort of filler. So I got 2 of those. This is way too big for it, but it's a calabrocha. But it'll be good for like the hanging, get that hanging look. So hopefully it won't grow so much outwards that it will grow more down. Back day number 2, as it always is with my videos. It takes a couple days to do things, but went ahead and set up the English troughs, planted everything. The only thing that didn't make sense to me, and I'm not sure if I did it right originally or did it wrong, but I'll show you here close up these brackets right here. And 2 of them, when you're putting it over a fence or a post, it says in the instructions, depending on the width of what you're trying to hang it over, you use there's 2 different sizes to these brackets. Well, I did that, and very little weight, just the weight of the trough itself. They want to lean over and not sit upright like this. So I had to put a couple screws in there to ensure that they stay on there. So is what it is, but they're in there. They look pretty good. I need to go ahead and put this container together and feed everything, give everything water. And this part of the project will be done. The lights, I'll show you what they look like here in a minute. The lights turned out fantastic. A couple bulbs were out. I think it was like just a screw loop, or they just weren't tight in there. But everything else, I mean, they turn on nice. They're not overly bright to where you're not comfortable sitting out here, but just bright enough to where, it's not like you're sitting in the dark. So they looked fantastic. So yeah, need to go ahead and get this planter put together. We'll be done. The last question I may get is, what kind of fertilizer am I going to use for these planters and whatnot? And the answer is Miracle-Gro Shake and Feed. I've used it a lot, not so much on anything this year, but last year in my garden, my flower bed, that was the only fertilizer I used until I started using Flora Green. But my hanging baskets and stuff, I started with that. I transitioned to the other Miracle-Gro, which is a dissolvable. Anyway, soluble. There you go. And I have no problem using Flora Green, but because these baskets aren't going to hold too much water, they're going to drip. I don't want to put Flora Green in there and it drips through and it stains. I mean, it's probably going to happen anyway just because of the dirt, but I could just rinse off the dirt and probably be fine. But at least here for the initial application or initial fertilizer, I'm going to use the Shake and Feed. And it's not a lot, it's very little, and like I said, last year I used it on the flower bed and it had fantastic results to start the season. And as I planted stuff, that's actually what I used. So yeah, everything's planted, apply fertilizer, give it some water, and this project will be done. Let's let's talk about the backyard itself. I'm sure it's showing up on camera, but bad. It's been neglected now for probably 2 weeks. Had the birthday party for my son back here. You saw I had the inflatable put up and everything like that, which I have no regrets. But so I mowed normal, like my normal height of cut. The birthday party and the lawn, even though it still had a bunch of weeds, it looked clean and tidy. And after the birthday party, between having several days of or having thunderstorms and rainstorms, and focusing on the front yard, not really focusing, but just life. You know, sometimes it's hard to focus on 2 lawns and do 2 projects. So like I said, the backyard, I'm gonna try to take care of it. I wanna push the Bermuda, but I'm not gonna put as much, you know, effort into it. You know, feeding and mowing is pretty much all I'm gonna do back here. And treating for weeds. I don't know how much you can see, but I have a lot of weeds, a lot of clover popping up, and dandelion, crabgrass, some other stuff I don't know what it is. It's like little trees. They're not trees, it's just weeds. So it just looks real untidy. However, if you go down, there's actually a lot of really good Bermuda. The real mowing for like a month that I did really sort of helped, really perked the Bermuda up. We've hit colder temperatures again. Today it's only gonna be 44 for a low temperature. We're in the 50s for a high. But still, I mean, there's a lot of good Bermuda here. Anyway, that's it for this video. That's the story of what's going on here in the backyard. The patio is really coming along. I really wish that lavender would perk up, but I don't think that lavender is gonna make it. But I know if it doesn't, I end up throwing away that lavender, those bushes. One of those pots are still gonna be lavender. I'll just get some fresh lavender and plant it. The other one would be some kind of shrub, maybe a Japanese maple or something, or some sort of evergreen, I don't know. But I think between that and what's currently there, it's turning out really fantastic and just a really nice place to hang out, especially as we have these nicer evenings in the upper 50s, the 60s. You just sort of sit out on the patio at night and just enjoy the sounds of outside, and it's just the backyard. The lawn itself needs some work, but it's gonna get there. I wouldn't expect, or I'd expect by, you know, towards the end of summer, this is gonna look completely different in the good way. I'm gonna play back this video. At that time, we're gonna see that it's gonna look completely different. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, comment below. You know, aside from just working in the lawn, is there other stuff that you like to do in your free time, or other areas that maybe, you know, people don't realize that you focus just as much time on as you do your lawns, sort of like patios and other hangout spots or anything like that? Just comment that below, because we are people and we are more than just our lawns. So share that information down below. Anyway, I will see you all in the next video. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and God bless. Update on the lavender basket, or at lavender planter pot. They didn't survive. So I planted some different stuff in here. This is a different kind of lavender. I hadn't seen this kind of lavender before, but I liked it. So I went ahead and went with this kind of lavender versus the, I guess, more traditional style. And then just to fill up the pot with a little more color, these are various potato vines down here. But once this lavender really starts taking off, these will come up and go somewhere else, probably in the front flower bed. But so that looks really cool. This was the other lavender bush that I had. So in its place, I put this lilac in. It's doing okay. I'm not sure how it's gonna fare. The root ball was it was just way overgrown. It had been sitting out for too long at Home Depot. And so it was just a big mess of roots. And then these are balloon flowers underneath that look really cool when they burst. That adds more color. This is doing really well. Here are the English troughs. They also turned out really good. The only fertilizer they've had is that Miracle-Gro shake and feed and a lot of water, and they're doing really, really well. just wanted to provide you all a little update.